So I was just telling you that my firewall is working in single mode. When I convert my firewall into multiple mode, uh, you can see I cannot use my firewall now for configuring any of the IP addresses. You can see interface E0, you don't have the option of giving IP address. Interface E1 also don't have an option of IP address, and E2 also. And you see automatically this is created. Now what happened? I was testing the GUI, so I bring this up interface E3 and in single mode. So that interface was allocated. Normally, if the interfaces are in up mode by default, then they'll be allocated to admin context. I told you the whole saving scheme in multiple mode changes. Saving scheme means what? Initially, when you say WR or WR mem or copy run start, it gets automatically saved in startup config. But here we are going to make multiple contexts. So in order to save the configuration in respective contexts, the configuration scheme changes. Like, okay, you now have to mention where you want to save these files individually. That means you are not going to save everything in startup config. You are going to save individually on each and every context. So admin context is the head context, which is automatically created when you convert your firewall into multiple mode. Automatically created. I told you this is a master context, okay, which saves everything. So when I say show flash, you can see there was a on 2nd December when I tried it in the morning. I got this configuration of my earlier. That is what we did yesterday. Suppose, okay, all the interface configure everything just got saved in a file called old underscore running. See, it is not the startup config. It is the running config. Okay. And just to show you that, or just to be on a safer side, you could have also done one thing. You could have saved your startup config also into the flash memory that we did last time, but I changed that box. Okay. So you can't see that. So you see, when I converted my box from single mode to multiple, the configuration which was there running in the single mode got immediately saved as old underscore running dot cfg. Cfg means config. Okay. So this is like for a safer side. But I told you don't rely on this. In fact, Cisco also tells you don't rely on this. You better keep your backup of your single mode configuration. One more thing that happened is what? When I converted my box into multiple, you see an admin.configuration file also got created. Okay, I told you whatever you do in the main box, that is the system box, will get saved in admin.cfg. So now I just change the host name. Okay. When I say show run, you can see there are 4 interfaces, and all those interfaces will not accept, you will not accept any IP address. No problem. So try to understand the scenario once again. We are having two VLANs on the LAN side, one for HR and one for IT. So what I'll do, I'll just give the name also so that there is no confusion. HR context. This is the server of HR context. Then you have IT. This is the LAN of IT context. And this is the server of IT context. Okay. This is VLAN 30. This is VLAN 40. This is HRDMZ. ITDMZ. Please stop me and ask if you are not able to understand. This is the server of, okay, so we thought of giving 30.2 and we thought of giving 40.2 according to the VLAN ID. The subnet is also that way. And their respective gateways will be again 30.1, 40.1. This is VLAN 10 and 20. And don't forget this is trunk. Why it is trunk? Because it is going to carry multiple VLAN traffic. So this is your trunk. Because ultimately there is only a single box. So this will be a trunk because it is going to carry 30 and VLAN traffic, 40. This is going to carry 10 and 20 VLAN traffic. Outside they are all both, they are all going to go in the same direction. Only difference is now we have this as what? 5. Okay. So one of your box is 1 and one of your box, I hope you remember that I gave you one diagram of security context. So 1 and 2 and this will be 5. Okay. 1 and 2 and this will be 5. You don't need 50. 10 and 20 is there and 30 and 40. You don't need any other VLAN on the outside direction. You can also use physical interface as I told you. It is not compulsory that you should use sub interface only. Here I have used sub interface. Okay, but it is not necessary. That is why I have used physical also and sub also. It will work. Okay, because many times students get confused why I'm using sub here and why I'm using physical. They think you cannot use physical for both the context. No, you can use physical for both the context. Remember one thing, though there is only 4 interface, okay, and I'm giving it to 2 contexts. I'm giving this 4 physical interface to 2 contexts. Possible. I can give physical, I can give sub. For LAN, I'm giving sub. For WAN, I'm taking only E0 by 0 because in both the case, I don't need VLAN. Why I want to separate them with VLAN when they're going into the single router. Or I can put them in VLAN also. That is not a point. I can put a VLAN 50 and okay. But what is the sense? Why I want to create VLANs for outside interface? So try to understand. You can use physical, you can use sub interface, both. Okay. So on the LAN, I'm using sub interfaces like E1.10 and E1.20 for both the contexts. In DMZ, I'm using 30 and I'm using. So always make it a point that first you design your topology, see that you decide the IP addressing properly, and then only you go for configuration. Otherwise, you will get confused and you will mess up with all those things. Okay. So I'm using this sheet. Okay. Now the thing is, when I'm using physical interfaces, I have to bring them up. You remember router on a stick. When you do router on a stick, you have to bring that interface up, physical interface. If you want to make sub interface of a physical interface, you should always bring that physical interface up. So the first task you should do is what? Put no shut. Now, what is the meaning of MAC address auto? See, I am giving this core interface to say 2 contexts. I might give it for 10 contexts also. Doesn't make sense. I might give it for 20 contexts also. I'm having a license of 20 contexts. So you think if I'm giving this 4 interface for 20 contexts, and if the MAC address of all the interface is same, it will be a confusion for the switch. Okay. Because see, my switch should know that VLAN 10 traffic has to be separated with the VLAN tag 10 if it is received on the switch. Like for example, you see, if I am giving E1 to 2 people, one is this LAN and one is this LAN. Don't forget the MAC address of E1 is, what is the MAC address of E1? 5000.008.001 fix. Physical MAC address of this E1 is fixed. But the problem is, if this VLAN people also get the same MAC address and this VLAN people also get the same MAC address, then they will also send an ARP to get the MAC address. These people also will send an ARP. So my MAC will definitely get registered here in the ARP reply for E1. But the thing is, like, these people are also asking and these people are also asking the same MAC address. So no, it should not be like that, because now my switch will be not able to segregate those traffic according to the VLAN. So what is the issue? I cannot use physical MAC address. I have to use some virtual MAC address of the box interface. So E1 should not carry physical interface. That means if I am using E1 here and if I am using E1 for this LAN, then the MAC address of this should be different and the MAC address of this should be different. So when the ARP comes in to R3, R3 stores some different MAC address and R4 stores some different MAC address. And when they try to send the packet over the trunk link, they should get properly tagged with 10 and 20, and they should go to their respective sub interfaces. They are not going to the physical interface E1. They are going to go to their respective sub interface. And what is the respective sub interface? E1.10 and E1.20. So this MAC address should be different and this MAC address should be different. How it is possible? Normally, when you have an interface, it carries only one physical MAC address, that is the hardware address. You cannot have two. So in ASA, they made a provision in the iOS that they can have multiple virtual MAC addresses. Only thing is, when you do security context, you have to activate the provision of this multiple MAC address automatically, which is not active now. You can see there is a word called no MAC address auto. If I don't activate this MAC address, my switch will not accept the physical address and he will be like confused and there won't be any connectivity between LAN users and firewall. LAN users and firewall will not be able to connect. You must be aware of this virtual MAC address in first hop redundancy protocol, that is HSRP, VRRP and GLBP. In all these three protocols, that is all this redundancy protocol, they already have fixed virtual MAC address to be given it to the users. This is the same fundamental which is being used on ASA also, because again ASA also belong to Cisco, HSRP also belong to Cisco, GLBP also belong to Cisco. So Cisco is going to use the same technology everywhere. So in ASA also he is telling we have ample of a lot of virtual MAC addresses to map with sub interfaces of the physical interface, that is E1. If you are converting this E1 into sub interfaces, they'll be having virtual MAC addresses, but the only thing you have to do is you have to give a command called what? MAC address auto. What is the meaning of auto? Please automatically generate MAC address for the context interfaces. So when I say show run now, you can see that MAC address auto is activated. If you forget this command, your communication between LAN users, your communication between server in DMZ, and your communication between the outside and the router will not take place. You can test it. Physical interface has to be activated by giving the no shut command. If you do this, it will be useless to bring their sub interfaces up. By default, they are in shut mode. So when I say no shut, you can see. If you try to give IP address to any of this, it will not take. If it is not taking, please try to see which mode it is, multiple. Because one time one of my students called me and said he is not taking any IP address. I don't know what happened. I said you better check the mode. If it is in multiple mode, is not going to take any IP address. You can see show run. There is no option of IP address, no shut, name it, security level, nothing is there. Why? Because this is a system firewall. That is the main box. I told you once again, I repeat, main firewall, the main box cannot be used if you are making virtual. Same what you have done in router on a stick. If you are using sub interfaces, you cannot use physical interface. So when I say show interface IP brief, it's up. Okay, IP address you cannot assign, but at least you can see the status, it is up. Okay. Now, as you have decided, okay, what you have decided, that you will be having, okay, interface E1.10 belongs to VLAN 10. If you don't do that, he is not going to accept the IP address later on. Okay, you can't give IP address here because IP address has to be given in the context. We are just trying to make context in the system firewall. So we are allocating interface E1.10 to VLAN 10. Description HR LAN. This is HR LAN, no? 20. It belongs to VLAN 20. And don't forget, this is IT LAN. There are two contexts we have decided, HR and IT. Then we have VLAN, then we have E2.30, which belongs to VLAN 30. Description HR DMZ 40. VLAN 40. Description IT DMZ. Interface E0, you are not going to make anything. So leave it. E1.10 belongs to HR LAN, belongs to VLAN 10. E1.20 belongs to IT LAN, VLAN 20. E2 is idle. E2.30 belongs to HRDMZ, E2. Show flash, you can see admin.cfg is 1741 admin.cfg. When I say WR, it gets saved in admin.cfg. Okay. Normally it is not showing, but it gets saved in admin.cfg. So whatever system configuration is there goes and saved in admin.cfg. So now you see, now the next task we did first MAC address auto. Second, we brought the physical interfaces up. Third, we mapped them with respective VLANs. Now we are going to create context. How? We are going to say HR context. I forgot. Context HR. And then specify the name of the context. So it's telling done, but it is empty. You need to allocate now interface. So already we have created 1.10. You can also name the interfaces here, but I don't want to name. I want to keep this interface number as it is. I don't want to name them. Optional. Allocate interface. So this is my inside. This is my inside, and E2.30 is my DMZ for HR, and definitely for outside I have decided E0. Then I have to say config URL. See where I want to save this file. Suppose if I go in HR context and do some configuration, I do the IP addressing, I do netting, I do policy, I do object group, I do whatever, telnet, SSH config, whatever configuration I do, where I want to save. This 0 means internal flash memory. Flash colon means it can be external flash on the box. But nowadays we don't have external flash memory on ASA. Whatever we have is this 0. This 0 means internal flash memory. So we have internal flash memory. We don't have external flash memory. That is why there are two different terms. This 0 is nothing but internal flash memory. Flash colon is nothing but external flash memory. FTP, if you have FTP, then you should have connection with this box and you should specify the FTP server or HTTP server or HTTPS or secure copy or SMB or TFTP, whatever. So I will say this 0 because I know this is here. And what is the name of this? HR.cfg. Okay. So when I exit this and say show run context, I will see that there is admin context and under this admin, okay. Or I say show context. When I say show run context, I will see the context. But when I say show context, you can see there is a star here. Star means this is the default admin context that is created. Class is default. Under that admin, I am having HR now. Both are in routed mode because we have two modes. One is routed mode and second is transparent mode. Total active contacts is 2. But remember one thing, if you have a license of 20, you can create 20 contacts. Admin contacts will not be counted in that. That means the total contacts you will have is 21. Admin contacts is not counted in that. Okay. So how many interfaces we gave it to HR? We gave them E0 for outside. We gave them E1.10 which we created. Don't conflict with what you have created. and what you have applied. If you created 1.10 and if you apply 1.50, it is not going to take. It's going to give you an error. Boss, where is 1.50? Because when you created 1.10, he knows that you have created 1.10. He will take only 1.10 here, 2.30. But he will never take 1.50. He will say, sorry, boss, I don't know where is. Next context I have created is HR, sorry, IT. I'm giving IT context, capital letters. It is case sensitive, huh? Remember. Then I say allocate interface E0, E1.20, E2.40. And then I say, boss, whenever you save the file of this context, please go in this and save it. So when I say show run, got it? I created 1.10, 2.30. 1.10 was created for HR LAN, 2.30 was created for HRDMZ, 1.20 was created for IT LAN, 2.40 was created for IT DMZ. Their respective configuration should get saved in. So we can see show flash. When you say show flash, you can see only admin.cfg. Why? Because still we have not configured anything and we have not saved anything. So how the file will come? Okay. So now the next step is what? Everything is done. Okay. Better you save this. And now you say change to context HR. When I say HR, he's telling, sorry boss, you don't have HR. But when I say HR, he's saying, yes, I know this context. Now when you say show run, you can see whichever interfaces I allocated can be seen here. 1.10, 2.30 and E0. If you're telling me to allocate one more interface, then I'll go to change to system, go to interface E3, say no shut, go to context HR, and I say allocate interface E3. Okay. I go to context IT and say allocate interface E3. WR show context. So I give 4 interfaces to each of them.
This Ethernet E3 is already allocated for the admin context, no?
No, but I don't know. He's the master. He's the master.
Okay.
All your interfaces belong to him. That context is the master context. You cannot configure admin context. Okay. He's the master of all. But if you have a department called admin, then you can create a context with the name admin and you can allocate all these interfaces for him also, but not the same. Huh? Then I need to create 1 dot something and 2 dot something. Okay. Already E3 is allocated to admin. That means actually E3, E0, E1, E2, they are all part of admin context. Okay. Just because it was in the shutdown mode, he didn't took it. But if the interfaces were up, he could have taken all the interfaces. Okay. So no issues. You just keep it. Now you say change to context HR. When you go here, you can see now E3 is also part of this because you allocated. No? Earlier E3 was not there. Okay. Only 3 interface. Now you can go on adding interface later on also. That's not a big deal. Okay. So I go to interface E0. I say IP address 20.1.1.1 255.255.255.0. I say no shut. See, now I can give IP address 0. Then I go to E1.10. I say IP address 192.168.10.1 255.255.255.0 and then say no shut name if inside. Then I go to E2.30 IP address 10.1.30.1 255.255.255.0. Then I say no shut. Then I say name if DMZ. Then I say security level 50. So when I say show route, I can see three network, one for outside, one for inside, one for DMZ. Okay. I say route outside 00.20.1.5. Don't forget we gave. Okay. See, it's pinging. Why it's pinging? Because there is a connectivity. This box is now divided into two boxes. So route ping 20.1.5. Very good. 12.1.1. Very good. 12.1.2. Very good. 172.16.10.1. Very good. It is going till end. Who is going till end? HR department. He got his own box now. He is using his own box. This is the ASA of HR department. You can see there is a slash HR, ASA for HR. Save it. When I save it, where it will go? I say show flash. It will not work because show flash command will work only in system. So I go to system and say show flash. You can see now there is a file got created. What time? 14:52. This is the clock here running now. I say clock set 20:50 00 to December 2020. Show clock. Change to context IT. Now when I say show run, here you will find 0, 20, 40 and E3 also. If we give it, there is no 10, there is no 30. E0 is common for both. I told you, you can give E20 IP address, same network. Why? Because it's going directly to the same router. Interface E1.20 IP address 192.168.20.1 255.255.255.0. Say no shut name if inside. Interface E2.40 IP address 10.1.40.1 255.255.255.0. Say no shut name if DMZ. Security level 50. Show route. Route outside 00.20.1.5. He is also going to that same router because there is only one exit point for both the contexts. So both the contexts, both the ASA, both the virtual ASA can now reach to the internet. WR change to context. No, change to system. Change to system means from one bedroom you are coming into living room. Suppose you want to go to first bedroom, that is HR, and change to context HR. Suppose you want to go to the second bedroom, IT, change to context IT. Suppose you want to go from IT bedroom to living room, change to system. From both the bedroom, that is HR and IT, you can come to living room. Living room is the main room. Living room is connected with both the bedrooms. So when I say show route, nothing is there because this command never works in system. Show interface IP brief works. Just to show you the status of the interface, this command works here. But if you say show route, it will not work. Okay. If you create access list, it will not work. See, access list not there. So what you want to see now? Flash. Now you can see IT CFG is also created. The new date, new time is what 2051 now. Just now created, no? Just now. If you forgot to save the configuration in both, then you say all. When you say write memory all, means you are saving all whatever context you have created. So you are saving in admin. Admin is also context. HR, IT, everything gets saved. So when I say show flash, you can see the size of admin is getting saved. Better you save it like that. Write mem all. When you come out of the context, once again you say write mem all, so that every context configuration is getting saved. You can do it individually also, but now I wanted to save admin context file also. So I said write mem all. If I say WR, okay, only the main configuration gets saved. But better just don't rely on WR because now our configuration saving policy is change. It is not getting saved in startup config. Okay. I want all to get saved in their respective config file so that you can take the backup of this. If I want to take the backup, I can take it. Change to context HR now. Come back to HR. Okay, good. Now I want to give access to outsiders. So I make a policy out permit TCP any to come on 10.1.30.0 255.255.255.0 equal to 23, 21, 25, 80, and then I say access group out underscore in interface outside WR show access list. I gave the access. First, let me check whether my server is able to ping. So my switching is good, then trunk is okay, my VLAN is okay, then I'll get ping. I told you last time, you need to configure this as trunk, this as trunk. You need to configure VLAN 30 and VLAN 40. You need to make this VLAN 30 and 40, this server the member of VLAN 30 and 40. That everything has to be in, then only you will be able to ping. Let me ping these guys to their respective HR server. Last time we gave this name. So IP INT brief ping ping 10.1.30.1 pinging. So IP route, nothing is there. Default gateway is there. Okay. Let me try it from this R6. This is IT server. Ping 10.1.40.1 pinging. LAN. I told you if everything is fine, then only it will be able to ping. If your trunking is not proper, if your VLAN static VLAN membership is not proper, it will not work. 192.168.20.1 LAN. Okay. 192.168.10 dot. So can my HR fellow can ping this guys? Yes. Can my HR fellow ping this guy? So server also can be pinged from HR. Now I try to let these guys come behind ASA 3 and 4 and then 5 and 6. Let R1 stay in front. Then we need R7. We don't need R. So now he try to ping 12. Okay. Then he tried to ping 2111. See, now this is HR. And he tried to ping IT also. See, he is able to ping IT firewall, and he is able to ping HR firewall also. 2111 is HR firewall and 2112 is IT firewall. So he can go up to the firewall entry point. That means this guy here can go like that and ping this guy, and can go here and ping this guy also. Now he is planning to go to this server. For what? For telnet, HTTP and all this stuff. So this guy will come to R1, R1 will forward him to 2011 and then he will go here. Let's see. Already we created a policy. So he is going to do what? Telnet to 10.1.30.2. Let's check what is the issue. R7 is not able to do telnet. Show route. You can see there is a route. Can I ping 172.16.10.2? Yes. But what are the routes you have on R1? So R1 carries a route for 30 network and 40 network. We did it last time. He's also having a route for 10 network and 20 network. Good. So there is no routing issue. R1 is already carrying a route for 10 and 20. Already carrying a route for 30 and 40. There is no routing issue. Let's check on the HR server. Now see, the default gateway is not matching. It's 192.168.30. So you say IP default gateway 10.1.30.1. So when I say 10.1.30.1, okay. What about R6? IP default gateway 10.1.40.1. Now let's try once again. Cisco. See, HR server is accessible. Show CONN detail. 172.16.10.2 is coming for server DMZ UIOB. U means up, I mean inbound, O means outbound, B means sync initiated from outside, initial sync from outside. So the connection is successful. When I say show access list, I'm getting a hit count, working fine. But when I try to do ping to 10.1.30.2, when I try to do ping from here to 10.1.30.2, ping packet is not working. Why? Because who's denying this? Access list. Access list out underscore in deny IP any. Show access list. There is a hit count for all the packets. Okay. Now when I finish this 2, I go to IT. So I need to say change to context. I don't need to go to living room. I can go from one bedroom to another bedroom also. That means from HR you can directly go into IT. You don't have to go into system and then go to IT. You can directly also go from HR to IT. What is the command? Change to context IT. Show route is there. Show access list, nothing is there. So I'm creating an access list. We say access list out underscore in permit ICMP any to 10.1.40.0 255.255.255.0 and I want only echo request to come and access list out underscore in deny IP any access group out underscore in interface outside. Now let's see. It's trying to do telnet to 40.2. When I say show CON and detail, nothing is there. When I say show access list, you can see there is a hit count which is not allowing this guy to access or do telnet. This is a hit count here. 4 hit count. It's fine. It's fine. So there is not, see now both the boxes are different. You can do whatever you want. There I allowed telnet, there I allowed FTP, there I allowed. Here I am, it is my choice. In IT department, I want only ICMP to work. So let's see if ICMP is working. Yes, it's working. So when I go here and say show access list, you can see there is a hit count. When I say repeat 1000, and when I say show access list, when I say show CON and detail, I can see there is an ICMP packet coming for 40 network. Show CON and detail, show CON and detail, show CON and detail. Show access list. So one box divided into two virtual box. One is like that, one is like that, one is like that, one is like that. But both the boxes go to the same router. This is 10, this is 20, this is 30, this is 40, this is HR context, this is IT context, this is outside of HR, this is outside of IT, this is inside of HR, this is inside of IT, this is DMZ, this is DMZ. Now the question arises, what about MAC address auto? How are you going to find out? So I showed you when I say change to system, show interface E1. What is the MAC address? 5000.008.001. Go here and or you go here and say show ARP. See now you can't see that MAC address. What is the MAC address? EA200. This is the ARP. You are getting it from 192.168.10.1. 10.1. A2000006. Okay, let's see on R4. Show ARP. See A20000C. Here it is 6. Here it is C. Actually, what is the MAC address? 5000.008.001. Let's see what is there on the switch. Between these two, there is a switch. Show MAC address table dynamic. This is the MAC address of 0 by 2 and 0 by 3. 0 by 2 means machine, that is R3 and R4. Okay. Show interface trunk. Trunk is, which is this interface? E0 by 0. So when I say show interface E0 by 0, this is something A, B, B, something. So when I say show MAC address table, show R. See, 0006. What happens if this fellow gives the ping 192.168.20.1? Repeat. You can see same interface. This time it is C6, because this MAC address is used for VLAN 10. This MAC address is given to. So R3 is having what? A MAC address of 006, because he belongs to VLAN 10, and this fellow is having what? Try to understand the meaning of MAC address auto. See, this fellow is having C. So both are getting two different MAC addresses. So switch is also not getting confused. This fellow has to go with VLAN 10 tag. This fellow has to go with VLAN 20 tag. This fellow MAC at R reply is different. This fellow R reply. That means there are two boxes there with two separate interfaces. One box is replying with C, and one interface which is E1.20 is replying with 6. So I will give him C, I will give him 6. I am having two MAC addresses on a single interface, E0 by 0. So my traffic remains separate on this trunk interface. This trunk interface, my traffic remains separate. One for VLAN 10, one for VLAN 20. Virtual MAC addresses. Whenever you have virtual MAC addresses, they are first, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bytes or 5 bytes will be same. Because they don't do pain in making different. They'll always change the last part. They'll always do some, okay. Because it's a virtual, no? You have to just make it unique. So in ASA, they have just given all those. Okay. This fellow also might be carrying something like that. Show MAC address table dynamic. 5. What is the exact physical, what is the interface MAC address of E2? Show interface E2. The physical proper MAC address of E2 is 5000.008.002. See, physical MAC address. This is again a virtual firewall, no? Eve firewall, no? So they also like Eve in it. Actual boxes will have some different MAC address. Anyway, so this is 001, this is 00. This is physical address of that box. What about the virtual MAC address they are going to generate? Let's check. 5, 10.1.30.30.1. Repeat. So go to this fellow and say, see, A200, I told you, no, something like that. 8. for VLAN 30. Ping 10.1.40.1. Repeat. Go here and check it. A2000E. In the end you see 8, in the end you see 8. But actually the physical MAC address is something else of E2. When I say show ARC, what is the ARC reply he got? 8. Which is also having the same, no? VLAN 30. Same. What about this guy? When I say show ARC, E. What is there? E. So I hope you understood what is the meaning of MAC address auto. In security context, you have to specifically say MAC address auto. If you don't say, your communication between LAN users and firewall will not take place. Your server and ASA will not take place because you have not enabled MAC address auto. Now what I'll do, I will say W all. So whatever configuration I have done is getting saved. Now you can see that the time is 21:04. HR and IT. 21:04. All the three contacts got saved. Show run. Show contacts. Here you will come to know where you have saved the file. Which mode. What are the allocated interfaces you have given it to these guys. Change to HR. Context HR. Error. Show route. Show access list. Show run. Inside DMZ. Outside. Policy. Now you want somebody should telnet to you from inside. Who you want? 192.168.10.2. 255.255.255.255. From inside you want. Okay. PSSWD. Cisco. Telnet 192.168.10.1. You got enter into HR. Yeah, because you have telnet here, no? Show run. When I go here and say, it's showing you. Change to context IT. Telnet 192.168.20.2. Inside password disco 192.168.20.1 disco. So independent. They are not dependent. HR is independent with their own telnet users, password, everything. You want domain name. You want crypto key generate RSA. You want SSH to be given to 192.168.20.2 255.255.255.255 from inside. Okay. Username admin. Password disco. AAA authentication SSH console local SSH minus L. Login name is what? Admin for 192.168.30 sorry 20.1. Password Cisco not working. Disco working. Check show SSH session. So 192.168.20.2 has already logged in with username admin. I have not activated on HR. It's okay. Not necessary. No? Both department works differently now. Just give me a break of 5 minutes. I'll drink water and come. I hope this is clear with you guys. Let me check what are the new other topics remaining. Now we have failover remaining, and then we'll start with VPNs. If you want to do GUI, now what I'll do, I'll save this. Everything is possible, na? NAT, like you can make an object group also. Okay, you can do NAT also. Everything. If you want to change the scenario, like if you want to add one more router, okay, then you can change also this scenario. Okay, so what I'll do, I will change the scenario and make, I'll show you this also. 1 minute, huh? Let me save this configuration. Show flash. Show mode. I'm adding one more router. So I added one more router here. Okay, I start this switch. I go to this router R2 and say show IP INT brief. I go to S1 by 1 and say IP address 13.1.1.2 255.255.255.0 no shut. Show IP INT brief. say no. Thirteen dot one dot one dot one. Interface E0 by 0, which is connected to switch, carries the IP address of 30.1.1.1. No shut. IP route to go to 192.168.20.0.255.255.255.0, go to 30.1.1.1. Okay, I did a mistake. Give 30.1.1.2 or 5. 10.1.40.0, 25.25.25.0, go to 30.1.1.1. IP route 0000. The next hop is 13.1.1.2. Show IP INT brief. So what I'm doing, I'm just doing redundancy. I'm adding one more router to show you that if I have multiple ISPs, how the traffic is going to be routed from ASA. Okay, so let's see. Ping 13.1.1.1, 2. Ping 172.16, 10.1 and 10.2 also. That means I am reachable to Google, suppose. Ping 172.16, 2. This is working fine. Show IP INT, but this is also working fine. Let's check it from R7. Ping 13.1.1.1, 30.1.1.2. This is the IP address of Octa, but still this is not on. Okay, so we need to go to the switch. Now I'm going to create two VLANs here. Okay. Earlier there was no VLANs, so I'm going to create two VLAN now. VLAN 40. 40 is already there. 30 and 40 is also there. So I'm going to create 50 and 60. And this will be trunk. So interface E0 by 0, switch port trunk, encapsulation .1Q, switch port mode trunk. VLAN 50, name ISP1 VLAN 60, name ISP2, show VLAN. VLAN 50 is ISP1, VLAN 60 is ISP2. R1 is ISP1, R13 is ISP2. R1 is facing ISP1, R13 is facing ISP2. Switching part is ready. Show interface trunk. Trunk is ready. R1 will be part of VLAN 50, R13 will be part of VLAN 60. So E0 by 2, 50. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 50. And interface E0 by 1, 60. So when I say show VLAN, the two routers are now part of 50 and 60. And when I say show interface trunk, allowed VLANs are 150 and 60. Go to ASA now. Now you see, we have not made any sub interface for this. But when I say change to context HR, already this interface is configured for outside. So I have to go on E0 and say no IP address, no shut, no name if. Okay, come back, change to system, and then I go to interface E0 dot 50 VLAN 50 description ISP1 60 VLAN 60 description ISP2 show run. So I made a sub interface for 0 also. Earlier I used physical. Now I'm using it for 50 and 60. Okay. So 50 and 60. Now what I'll do, I'll go here in the HR context. Instead of this, I say allocate interface E0 dot 50. 60 show context. Now you see there I disabled this in HR, so you can't see, but here I have not disabled, so you can see both. So I need to go there and say change to context IT interface E0, no IP address, no shut, no name if. When I say change to system and say show context, still there, you say change, sorry, you say context IT and say no allocate interface E0. I don't want this. This command will not work if you have configuration there in the context. So better you remove first, come back here, and then you do WR. WR mem all. Change to context HR. Show run. You won't see E0 now. Gone. E0 is gone. Instead of that, you have E0.50. IP address 20.1.1 255.255.255.0. No shut. Name if outside. When you remove the interface, your route is also gone. Don't forget that. Go to 20.1.1.5. When you remove the interface, your routing goes away. Pinging. So this ISP is up now. Change to context IT. Show route. Gone. Show run. Interface E0.60. IP address 30.1.1.1 255.255.255.0. No shut. Name if outside. Route outside 00 30.1.1.5. Ping 30 dot second ISP. Pinging. Now there is a problem here. It is having 13 network, but it's not pinging. Why? Because R2 is having a default route pointing towards 12. You cannot have two routes. Okay. We are just connected to the same ISP actually. Okay. So we'll do one thing. We'll put a static route. You cannot have two default route. You can have two default route with different AD. Simple. We will do 192.168. 20.0 255.255.255.0. The next stop is 13.1.1.1. And this is what 10.1.40.0 plus you don't know what 30.1.1.0. 13.1.1.1. Perfect. Ping 30.1.1.1. Perfect. ASA reachability is there. Ping. Second ISP is also able to ping now Google. This is Google. So you see the traffic of both the is going in two different directions. One is going via ISP 1, one is going to ISP 2, and finally they are going it to the Google. Google is same from both the ISP. Again, what I did now, I created sub interface for this, same like others. So if you might be having two different ISPs in industry, then how are you going to separate them? Simple. Again, the same tasks you're going to do. Okay. So when I say show route, working. So when somebody try to come here, from R7, ping 10.1.40.2. Show access list. Okay. Show route. Now again, this is a problem here. You can see I gave one static route which is facing 30.1.1.1. Again, you cannot have two default route. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll remove this. No route outside 00 30.1.1.5. See, when I added this route, the old route is gone. So I say route outside. If I want to go to 12 network, 12 network, which is behind R1, sorry, route outside 00, this is right, ping 30.1.1.5, ping 172.16.10.1 and 10.2. Okay, change to context HR, show route, ping 20.1.1.5, ping 12.1.1.1, 12.1.1.2, 172.16.10.1 and then 2. So this is also correct. So in ASA we have two routes now, one facing to this department HR and IT department is facing this fellow with a default route. Let's see what's the issue. When I say show access list on HR, I have given a permission for telnet to R7. So what is going to do? Is going to do telnet to 10.1.30.2. Okay. Show IP route. 20.1.1. We need to do proper routing. So what I am doing now, I'm doing this routes. We don't want these routes here. Show IP route. Anybody is coming for 30 and 10? Okay. What about this router? Anybody is coming for 40 and 20, you should come here. 30.1.1.1. Perfect. So IP route. What this guy is doing, for 40 network and 20, you should go to 13.1.1.3. We will do static for this also. For 192, 168, 10.0, 255.255.255.0, it should go to 12.1.1.1. And for 10.1.30.0, it should go for this. So what I did, I gave static (12) and 13, 30 and 40. No need of default route. No IP route 0000 12.1.1.1. Anyway, always remember default route is the last resort. It will never be considered in the first place if you have specific routes. So 30 is having a 30 specific, 40 specific, 10 specific and 20. So R2 is ISP router or the other end router. Okay. Now let's see. So it's trying to access 10.1.30.2. Okay. What's the issue? Okay. Show access list. You can see there is a hit count of only 2. Show route. Show interface IP brief. Show run. What happens when you remove the interface? You see the problem, troubleshooting. When you remove the interface E0, the access list which is applied on that interface is also gone. So when I say show run access group, it's not seen. So once again you have to say what? Access group out underscore in interface outside, because that was gone. Again when I say show run, change to context IT, show run access group, gone. When you remove, so I need to say access group out underscore in interface outside. Okay. Now let's see what was the permission given. Ping permission. Perfect. Show access list. Yes, there's a hit count for ping. Always you should click it. See, I know what are the issues I have created. When I remove the interface, access group is gone. When I remove the interface, routing is also gone, because routing was facing the outside interface. So troubleshooting is very important. What happens for that, you should know ASA very well. How ASA reacts. If you're removing interface, access group is also gone. If you're removing interface, routing is also gone. So at least now routes are there, access group is also there. So when I say this, you can see show CON in detail. It's working. ICMP is working fine. Change to context HR. Show access list. You can see there is a hit count of 2 only. Let it complete, because I said 10,000. I can cancel also. I need to close this. Epic pen. Control Shift 6X. Control Shift 6. And then now I say telnet 10.1.30.2. Working. Show CONN detail. Show access list. Earlier it was hit count 2. Now it is hit count 3. So now I showed you with 2 different ISPs. Can you see? Again I did sub interface of E0 also. So inside also 1020 VLAN, DMZ also 3040 VLAN, outside also 5060 VLAN. Why? Because I want to send the traffic of one department from one ISP, one department from. I don't want any confusion. Both are separate. You can also do redundancy in that failover, where if one of the ISP fails, you can send the traffic of both the department from R13, or if R13 ISP2 fails, you can send the traffic from. Okay, you can do that. Try to understand, if the infrastructure grows or if there is a requirement of multi-purpose requirement, then how you are going to handle this situation with the help of security context in a multiple mode. You can do it afterwards also. They say I did some. You just need to go to change to context. sorry, change to system, show run. I just did sub interface for E0 also and allocated them into respective. I can remove this if I don't want. It will go from there. I hope this was clear and this was informative. I hope you like the lecture. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the next lecture. I will give you this recording also. I already uploaded the other recording. My both the lecture is same, but there is a chance that I might have said something else in that lecture with some new question being asked by the students. So you refer both the videos or both the lecture of security context. I will upload this also. Okay. So good night, guys. I hope you understood all of you.
Uh, yeah, hello. Munawar, I just wanted to ask you one thing. Could you please share the workbook for this version 6 blueprint? Because we came to know which topics we are going to cover and every day. So it is better to understand us.
Okay, no problem. I'll share you the points. Okay, tomorrow.
Uh,
Whatever I
oh,
have completed,
uh,
you are already having with the lectures, and I gave you the this thing also. Okay,
yeah, okay.
and
Uh,
I will write down in the word format and give you whatever we have completed up till now
mm.
and what I am going to complete. Okay.
Okay. One more thing, see, first of all, your teaching is very good. Okay, we don't have any objection on that.
Thank
But what I feel now, so in the NAT topic is completed, right? In the NAT topics, I think you static NAT and dynamic NAT is covered, but there are some. I think there are two topics are left, which are destination NAT and twice NAT. You didn't
you.
cover, or I don't know what is this. Yeah, I think we feel that you are going to take the only basic or something. I don't know. You waiting for the advanced level on this topic.
No, I'll cover. I think I missed it. I think we finished with the basic. You write it down to me on WhatsApp. I'll cover
Mm-hmm.
that also. No problem.
Okay, no problem. That's why. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.